A harsh reality in our world is that several species in our animal kingdom are facing extinction. But now, thanks to the Aquarium of the Pacific here in Long Beach, the Southern California mountain yellow lake frog is getting some much needed help to improve their declining numbers.
That population segment of mountain yellow-legged frogs is very much in decline and is listed on the endangered species list as a threatened species. And so their populations in the wild that used to expand across 4 different mountain ranges in Southern California now only occur in 3 ranges and in 10 individual sites. So they're just very low numbers. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and U.S. Geological Survey biologists have formed a recovery plan for this species, and part of that recovery plan is raising or rearing tadpoles and getting them to the stage where they're froglets, and then they can be released back into the wild and have a higher survivability as froglets than they would if they were tadpoles.
If you don't know the difference between froglets and tadpoles, there is a chart in the amphibian exhibit in the aquarium that breaks it down.
Currently, we have 2 sets of tadpoles, and they are in the stage that is just before this one, for the most part, to where they're tadpoles with tails, but just a few of them starting to have their hind legs. And so if we keep these tadpoles here until they turn into a frog with tail, or just when that tail reabsorbs back in, they're more likely to survive in the wild than if we put them out as tadpoles.
You will not see the tadpoles on display at the aquarium. They are held in a secured area with limited human contact. The goal is to make sure the frogs are used to being in the wild and not used to human interaction. Human interaction is part of the reason the Southern Californian mountain yellow lake frog is seeing a decline in numbers.
Climate change, certainly wildfires are destroying some of the habitat, and so this segment of frogs occur in the San Bernardino Mountains, San Gabriel Mountains, and San Jacinto Mountains, and so wildfires have been a big problem in that area. And then there's also a problem by non-native trout species that are in the streams that generally or didn't used to occur there and now do, and they're eating the tadpoles or the frogs.
The trout were placed in those areas to promote recreational fishing, so now those trout are in need of rescuing as well.
Part of the recovery plan is to find areas or work in different watershed systems and then remove some of those trout species that aren't supposed to be in those creeks anyways to create safe areas for the tadpoles and frogs to live.
Brett Long says there are a few things we can do to make sure these frogs do not face extinction. First, we need to do all we can to minimize our environmental impact and reduce climate change. Do not go into areas that are listed as off limits, and you can donate on the aquarium's website. The link to that donation page is listed in the description below. For the Long Beach Post, I'm Jackie Ray.